ladies. I'm so excited to be here today. I am the new president of PWN, and so I have both the dual pleasure of guiding us through the meeting today and speaking to you on why goals alone don't work by themselves. So this is our annual monthly meeting where we meet on the third Thursday of each month. And I'm just excited for a new year, to set new intentions with you all and to help you support you in your business. So for those of you who are watching PWN on the YouTube channel, be sure to click like and subscribe. And a big shout out to you, Jody Royer, the founder and CEO of Magic Mind Marketing, our January sponsor and our tech wizard, who's always working to help us to help PWN keep things running smoothly. And also a thank you to Stephanie Shields, the CEO of Bookkeeping Central, for taking care of our bookkeeping needs. I think we're all here. So now we get an opportunity to hear more from Jody. Sure. So tell us a little bit about your business and that cool background you have, Jody.
Okay. Well, so I chose this background because it's an artistic representation of the children of Israel crossing through the parting of the Red Sea. And the whole issue, I've studied the Bible before. I'm a Christian, and I am also a lesbian. So I'm an outside the box kind of person. I am not a traditional Christian, and I've always been non-traditional in all my traditionality. So I actually see things from a different perspective. And one of the things I look at when I look at the Bible is I believe it's a book about metaphysics. And the metaphysical realm is the unseen realm of the mind in relationship to the spiritual world. And I have been studying the mind for years. And that's why my business is called Magic Mind Marketing, because all the magic is not in the technology, it is in the mind of the owner of the business. And I work with business owners who want to establish and grow their business using the power of the internet resources and now using AI and automation. And I had to embrace this new storm that we're going into that is the unfamiliar. So whenever we are hit with a new level upgrade into, which happens to be technology, is always our new storm, because have gone through every level of technology development from the time when I was a travel agent, handwriting airline tickets that people would walk up and tear off, to the level of travel that we are now. I was a travel agent for 15 years, and I walked through the entire course of the automation process as an international travel supervisor for AAA. And then I realized I wanted to build my own business. After my mom passed on, she gave me some money, and I was like, I want to take this whole tech thing and marketing thing and website thing out to the world and help people deal with their mental issues around technology. And I want to assist you going through these storms. And I'm going to do something here that should change my background so that you come into a peaceful harbor. And I'm the lighthouse. I am in human design, I am a projector, and the projectors are the lighthouses. They shine the light out and help people get guided into their safe harbors, their places where they can restore and nurture so they can build themselves back up and head out on their adventures. So I'm the bridge. I help people move into transitions with new experiences. And I happen to pick technology as part of that. So I help you with websites. I help you with landing pages, the new AI integration of voice, answering the phone and having a beautiful AI voice answer your phone if you can't answer that phone, and they can book an appointment with you. I mean, it's a gift, And it's a challenge. A lot of people see it as something very scary because it's unfamiliar and it's unknown. And the good news is that in the age of AI, your mastery of your soft skills, your relationship ability, your human to human connection, your intuition, your imagination gives you a massive competitive advantage if you develop it. The bad news is that if you are slow to adopt the AI tools or have someone help you, you will quickly be left behind by those who work those tools. Because we are now at a pivotal place where we are the first generation. There is no established roadmap to guide adoption and implementation of AI. We are those children of Israel coming from that paradigm that we are now leaving. And if you don't have a leader that's at least forging a path with you, you're not going to get through. And if you can all remember the story of those people who were slaves who got pulled out of Egypt, they did not enter the promised land because they were thinking as slaves. The next generation who never knew what it was to be a slave entered the promised land because in their mind, they were those people. So, in order to move into the direction of your desire, you have to become one with that desire. And that's got to be your self image. You have to leave behind the old way and embody the new mind that is a higher self. It's like you're going up on a new frequency. So you're listening to a new voice that's coming into you, that's guiding you. So the inner guidance that you have must be turned on in order for you to succeed, because your goals, you can have big, high goals, but if your self-image is not at the level of where your goal is, you will never reach that goal, because your self-image is what derives you to it and what gives you the ability to do that. So that's part of my process with my clients, is helping them realize they have to develop their self-image into the goals that they're achieving so that that will move the needle forward. Not all the tech mastery and wizardry, that's just a facility. That's just the boat you get in. Some boats are better than others, but technically, if you want to get to where you are, you got to know that that's where you're going. And so I'm your support person in that process. Thank you. Jody Marie, Magic Mind Marketing.
Oh my goodness, Jody, you're so creative. I wrote down safe harbor to navigate AI, and we no longer have to be slaves. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you, my dear. Tracy, I think you're going to be introducing me.
Yes, my friend, it's time for our fearless leader to take the stage today. And here's the thing. Carrie Asuncion Helms or Carrie Helms, those are the two options now. Carrie is an amazing, as she said, amazing intuitive guide to help you activate your magic. So Carrie is a seasoned business and mindset coach with over 20 years of experience, specializing in guiding high achieving women. Anyone here identify as that? High achieving women to pursue their dreams, discover their new life directions, and create fulfilling lives. Combining high performance, body-based psychology with 12 plus years in human resources management at leading Silicon Valley tech companies, Carrie offers a unique approach to personal and professional development. She does career coaching, business facilitation, motivational speaking. She lives here in Santa Cruz, about a mile and a half mile away from me. We often are our little travel buddies, or a pair going from place to place. And honestly, I will tell you that the only reason I agreed to be vice president of the board this year is because Carrie is president. And so I'm super thrilled to be able to support her in the furthering the PWN mission. And I'm always here to support her mission of helping women, helping people, but a lot of women to really activate their magic and be successful in their life and in their business. So Carrie, thank you so much for being our primary speaker today, and please take it away.
Thank you, my dear. I felt so moved to hear what you had to say, and I feel so connected to this group. Thank you, my dear. So today I'm going to be talking about why goals alone don't work. So I'm just going to ask you to check in with yourself. Have becoming unstoppable can be tricky, right? So if you've been spreading yourself thin with distractions that up until now haven't kept you really from focusing on what truly matters, makes you feel more joy filled, or maybe if you've been feeling drained rather than plugging into what is brings you joy, or maybe even judging yourself and pushing yourself harder to make things work and asking yourself, well, why can't I do more? Here's an opportunity for you to really get clear on what's most important to you. And I'm just curious, how many of you have already set goals for the coming year? Just a show of hands. Okay, awesome. So this is just going to be an opportunity for you to fine tune some of those things, to ask yourself some deeper questions. And my next question for you, and you don't actually have to answer it for everyone else, but just for yourself, is how confident are you in achieving those goals? Like 0 to 5, 0, not so much, or 5, I'm on it. I'm all over it. Yeah. Okay. So for those of you who are a 5, I'm going to say, can you stretch it a little bit or deepen it a little bit as we go through this? And for those of you who aren't so sure, we're going to be actually going through some of the ways in which you can begin to propel yourself forward to make it more easy, to make it more joy filled as you go for it. So I'm going to invite you to grab a piece of paper, something to write with, because we're going to be taking you through a quick 20-minute exploration of how you can become unstoppable. So I'll be offering a framework that you can set clear goals, achievable goals that really set you up for success. And I'll share why goals alone don't work and how you can create what you want to do, not what you don't want to do, which we tend to focus on, right? But what you do want with a greater sense of ease and joy, and I'll call it sustainability. This is what some of my clients fondly call making magic. And this is just a start. So I'll give you an opportunity at the tail end for you to take a deeper dive. But this is just an opportunity for you to get clear about what really lights you up. So before to kind of I'll call it illustrate this point, would it be okay if I shared with you like a story of how I found some of the tools that I'm going to be sharing with you today? Really, and also see yourself if you see yourself in the story that I'm, at least aspects of the story I'm going to be sharing. So early on in my career, I was a human resource manager. I think Tracy had shared that with you all, and I eventually became a VP. So high achiever, pushing, right? And I allowed my success to be defined by others. So this left little freedom for what really lights me up. For somehow, I don't know how this got in, but I'm guessing it's because I watched my parents as they were struggling in their own careers. As I was growing up, I was programmed to think that struggle leads to success. Can anybody relate to that? And also, I was taught from an early age that I should be grateful for what I was given, to just suck it up and make it work, right? So I would try to make some very difficult situations try to work out when really they weren't my passion in the first place. So it was never ever suggested to me that I could simply ask, what would I love? And I found out later that that was actually the pathway to a greater sense of purpose and passion in my life. So as I worked my way up the ladder, pushing, I proved that I was really good at saying yes to ever increasing challenges. I always found a way to take on more until I just couldn't take it anymore. I can remember that point when I just was tanked and I couldn't get myself off the couch. It was difficult to even find the energy to brush my teeth. And so I bailed the corporate scene. I needed a break. So and what I began to realize, what do they say? Those opportunities where we've considered failure is actually one of our greatest learning opportunities. That was one of my greatest learning opportunities because it helped me to see that I had failed to ask, what brings me joy? I was actually giving my life force energy, my precious life force energy, away to a series of organizations to increase their bottom line. Yeah, okay, I got paid really well to do what I was doing. And yet, it wasn't very satisfying. And it basically, I forgot to ask the question, how do I want to feel as I'm going after my goals? And I certainly didn't ask, well, what do I want to let go of? Because I continued to pile high all the lists of activities as I was working 10 plus hours a day. It just wasn't sustainable, right? And as I added new responsibilities, and I like to think of the metaphor of our life if of like a sandwich. And you're saying, okay, so I'm on this committee, or have this job responsibility, or I'm a mom, or I'm a wife, and I'm a friend, and I'm a community member. We just put all of these things and we stack them up. And sometimes it's kind of hard to take that big bite, right? Because it's so big. And sometimes we forget to ask the question, is it nourishing to us in the first place? So I came to find out that I was actually gluten insensitive later on. So that should have been my first indication that I was trying to stomach something that wasn't even something that was serving me or nourishing me. It wasn't until I was like 36 at home with a toddler that I asked, what would I love and what would I love to fill my life with? A greater sense of expansiveness and joy and connection. So after doing a meditation that I'll be sharing with you, giving to you as a gift at the tail end of this, I got clear and I went back to school and I studied somatic psychotherapy. So that's just a fancy way of saying body-based psychotherapy. And that's what kind of leads me to do the work that I do is I ask my clients these high achieving women to tap into their body, to ask, is this nourishing your soul? Is this actually giving you a greater sense of zest in life? So it really helped me to uncover what a client had shared with me recently. She says, you helped me uncover something that truly brings me joy. It's something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. So that might be something that gets uncovered for you today. Your advice on how to delegate has given me the confidence to take the steps towards making more time for it. So, and she said she's grateful. So this is your opportunity for us to begin to play around. That's my scenario of what happened. But now it's your turn to get clearer about your goals. So I'm actually going to share the screen and give you a little bit of definition. Okay, so can you see like a star pattern? Okay, give me a second. I'm doing it straight from Canva this time.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
good.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
thanks.
perfect.
Thanks, my dear. So what I want you to really know, and it is we take this clockwise as we go around, we all have goals and intentions, let's say. I don't want to get caught up on the word because I've actually had people say, well, goals are an illusion of control. So, so what is it that you want to create? We'll talk about that in a minute. What would you love to create in 2025? And we're going to answer the question, why is that important to you? Because often I have people say to me, I'd like to make, I don't know, $1 million this year. And I say, okay, because that's kind of like an intangible, it has money as energy, but can you actually imagine why that's important to you? Whether it's building or creating the home of your dreams, or whether it's giving you a greater sense of satisfaction and impact, or whether it's feeding your family, So why is that goal important? And then asking the question, how do you want to feel? Now, if I would have asked that earlier on, then I might not have been set in the situation where I burnt myself out, right? So maybe you want to feel like more expansive, or you want to feel more joy filled. And what are you going to need to let go? Because remember that sandwich? You can't continue to pile it on and think that you can actually continue to eat that big sandwich. So what must you let go, whether it's mindsets or ways of being? And what do you need to start? What are those habits that are going to actually support you in fulfilling what your soul's calling in? And what I found after going through a leadership program is, what are you really willing to commit to? I often hear people say, well, I'm going to try to do that. Well, that's not committing, is it? So we're going to be talking about using this framework to actually take you through your own situation. So I'm going to actually stop share so that I can put it in the chat. So the first question I'm going to invite you to do is I'm going to ask you to just gently close your eyes or have soft focus on your eyes. And I want you to begin to take a deep heart breath through your heart space. And I want you to think of a time in your life when you felt a deep sense of love or greater sense of nurturance or appreciation. So whether it's a special loved one or an animal companion or a sacred place in nature, whatever brings you into your heart space. And begin to ask yourself, what would I really love to create in 2025? Maybe you get a felt sense of what it's like first. Like you want to feel a greater sense of expansiveness, a greater sense of compassion, a greater sense of connection. Or maybe it's the impact that you want to create. Taking a deep heart breath. Imagine, what does it look like? Who are you with? And what does it feel like in your body to be creating that goal? Maybe it's a deeper sense of connection. Maybe it's feeling more energetic. Maybe it's feeling more connected to your purpose in business, whatever that is for you. So taking a deep heart breath and then coming back to this moment, maybe even doing a stretch over your head and writing that down. What is it? In as much detail as you can on your piece of paper is, what is your goal, intention, and I'll write this in the chat. Your goal, intention for 2025. And the reason why I say a period of time is because it is important that we actually have, it might be the first quarter in 2025. You get to decide, is your goal. So write it down. And, we've all been taught that SMART goals are important, to have it specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Go into as much detail as you can right there. And it may be a question mark for later. But what is your goal and intention for 2025? And then why is that goal important to you? I want you to write that down. And the reason why I'm asking you to write these down, by the way, is most people don't write their goals down. They might have these great ideas. They say, oh, okay, I want to lose 25 pounds this year. But they don't have a plan and they don't write it down. So it's not a consistent awareness of what are the steps you're going to take. So why is that goal important to you? Maybe it's you really want to feel more impact, like I said, or you want to be able to feel more healthy, as you want to have more balanced work life as you go forward. Or you want to be able to create that dream life, buy that cabin in Shasta or Shaver, sorry. So why is it important? And the next question is, how do you want to feel? And I'm putting these in the chat if you want to grab them. How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel more impactful? Do you want to feel energized, connected? You get to decide. And this is an important concept, because when we have a goal that's just in our head, our mind goes, yeah, I don't know how to do that. But when you can say, I can feel the feeling tone of what that feels like, that's a manifester. That's somebody that can actually say, I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to have money in the bank. I know what it feels like to have that beautiful cabin. I know what it feels like to have that impact. So your mind then begins to imagine, oh, I can do that. There is a way through. And then the next question for you is, what must you let go? And the concept with that is, there's habits that have kept you stuck doing what you're doing. And so what is it that you're going to need to shift up so that you can actually create the mental space and the time space to create that? That could look something like, maybe it's a matter of saying, you must let go of saying yes to everything. Or maybe it's Well, the flip side of that is needing to start. So needing to delegate some of the responsibilities that you have. Or maybe it's getting really, really clear that you have to let go of that mindset that says, I'll never get there, and find a way through. Or maybe there's patterns in your business that you're like, why am I doing that in the first place? I often look at women's businesses and I'm like, okay, is that getting you the results that you want? No, great. You're going to redesign it. So what must you let go? And then the next thing is, what do you need to start? Maybe that's the habits that where you make time in your calendar for those things that you know are going to help you succeed. Some people call those SOPs, or standards of operation, where you actually say, okay, it's important that I do social media on a regular basis, that I network on a regular basis, that I do outreaches on a regular basis. So what is it that you need to start doing in order to bring your dreams, your intentions into fruition? And then the last question is, what are you willing to commit to? And this also can have a feeling tone to it. Like, one of the things that I started writing down is, I commit to being authentic and visible as I guide my clients to create a work life that they love, aligned with purpose and prosperity. So, and then how do I measure that? The number of clients that I bring in, um, the sense of satisfaction that I have. So you can actually put in there, what are you willing to commit to? Is it a number? Is it a feeling tone? Is it both? And welcome, Joanne.
I blew it. I had
That's
three
okay.
meetings at once, so sorry.
That's okay, sweetheart. Um, so we have in the chat here, those questions. Again, what is it? What is your goal or intention? How do you want to feel? What must you let go? What is it you need to start, and what are you willing to commit to? And just so that we can begin to get inspirations from each other, if you could please share in the chat, just write it in, what you're willing to let go of or need to start. You choose what you choose to share in order to allow your intention to come through. So if you can put that in the chat, you're saying,
Carrie,
Bubba. Yes.
can you repeat that? I'm sorry, I was writing.
Yes, yes. If you can put in the chat, what it is that you either must let go. And in fact, I'm going to put this, share what you must let go of, or what you need to start. And what I find is this is just really helpful, because then I can go, oh, you're going to be doing that? I need to do that too. Willing to let go of fear on being on video. Amen, sister. I get that one.
Girl, you're gonna start TikTok right when it gets canceled?
Is me manifesting that it won't get canceled,
Yes,
because
I love
I
that.
am
Thank
making
you.
it my
Thank you.
goal.
It's my understanding that it's not getting canceled. It's just you won't be able to get on.
It's still, well, yeah, it canceled for the US. Supreme Court can rule as up till tomorrow. Rumors somebody bought it. I don't know, but I am manifesting. I am starting my TikTok channel.
Okay.
So I could be on video and get over
Okay.
that fear.
So I'm going to check to see what other branching out and teaching at new venues. So you might want to get clear what those venues are, letting go of overthinking and overanalyzing. Starting, just imagine what you want to dip yourself into. Let go of the anxiety, fear, and embarrassment of being seen, and let go of self-doubt and start having stricter discipline. Let go of the previous expectation and start committing myself to the action to fulfill or to fill my retreat. And what I need to let go of, need to start the death grip of the need to control, so I can start to allow fun, adventure, connection. I have something to say about that too. Because basically creating goals is an illusion of control. We're going to talk about what that looks like. So honoring your time in your calendar. So I get it. This is the human condition, right? Where we take a bite out And we say, how can I get my mouth around that? I'm going to have to let go of something, and I'm going to have to say a heck yes. And I'll give you an example. When I went back for my master's degree, I had to let go of alcohol and adult programming for about 3 years. And so anything that was deadening that would get in my way. So I just want to say that here's the opportunity, and I'm actually going to put this in the thing. So first you have to get clear what nourishes you. You need to commit. And then one of the other things is to celebrate successes. So ask yourself, how am I going to celebrate that when it comes through? I'm going to put this in the chat. And see every failure, let's call it failure, your inability to work right, Jessica, because I don't create goals. So maybe it's intentions. That's why I use different words, right? Um, when you, let's call it fail or don't hit the mark about what you're doing, it's a learning op, right? And in fact, our what do you want to call it? Our co-working and our masterminds are great opportunities for you to begin to see where you might be falling short, and just see it as a learning opportunity. And also getting support and accountability. I would say that that's one of the top tier, let's call it activities that great leaders do. So join us for some of our events, and I'll be sharing what that looks like in just a little bit. So if we had more time, I'd ask you to share what you're committing to. But for right now, we're rolling up the 20 minutes. And I just want to say at the beginning, I promised you that I'd offer you support to gain clarity on your most cherished goals and how to move forward. And so I'm going to drop in the chat. This is a meditation, which is a short visioning that helps you to establish your vision blueprint. One second. It's similar to the one that helped to guide me through my path to joyful service. And it really helps you to understand what lights you up. We all think that we're going to do it later. So I'm going to invite you to tap into it now, to actually go into the chat and enter your info so you can get the meditation and the worksheet. And let me tell you why it's so important is because getting clear on your vision blueprint, it helps your mind to have a clear vision about what it is that you want to draw into your life, whether it's the right people, the circumstances, or the resources. And when you lack the clarity, like I did in the previous example, you basically are telling the universe, I'll take whatever you give me. But when you get clear on what you really want, you develop like a filter system. You have a sharper vision that allows you to see vision and or envision and opportunities that you couldn't have seen before. Really, life begins to expand in beautiful ways when you ask the questions, what would I love? What lights me up? And where do I want to put my precious time and focus? And really, the answers to these questions are uniquely yours, and they help you to tease out your heart's desire to live life with a greater sense of confidence and enthusiasm than you even imagined possible. So you begin to shift what I call on an energetic level, on a cellular level, and see new opportunities that you might not have seen before. So really, I want all of us, I want you to be able to have the freedom to design work that reflects your highest values and acknowledge your needs, right, for health and well-being. So I want to leave you with the thought that inspiration without action is just entertainment. That's from one of my mentors, Mary Morrissey. So act on your inspiration today. And before you take a bite, ask, is this nourishing? Is it soul satisfying? And if then, commit to making that change. And so I just want to say thank you again for taking the time together today. I so appreciate all of you for sharing. And I look forward to being of service as your president for PWN this year. Blessings, ladies. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Carrie. I'm going to say thank you because you can't say thank you to yourself. Thank you so much for that. You definitely, talk a lot about goals. And whenever I get a chance to take in someone else's perspective and like think about it for myself, I'm always so grateful. So I really want to thank you for today. And I love your star and that whole like imagining all of the pieces. I thought that was really effective. So thank you so much for all of that.
Thank you, my dear. I appreciate you. And I just want to say blessings for an abundant, prosperous month. I look forward to seeing you either in person or virtually. And I just want to say how grateful I am for each one of you for showing up in a way that's vulnerable, authentic, and loving. I appreciate you all. It really does take a village. Blessings. Thanks, ladies. Love you. Be well.